Can I get everyone's attention back up front? Mouths closed, eyes and ears with me in 3, 2, 1. Can I get 1 or 2 people to volunteer? Explain. I want you to tell your partner what your partner wrote. If you can tell me what your partner wrote by raising your hand, please. Darius?
No. Ford had to make a decision. Either he get in trouble or his family get in trouble, and he had lied for his family.
Oh, okay, so sometimes that's an important decision. Who else can tell one more? Okay? That's an important decision. But remember, I asked you to talk about, is that your partner's decision or yours? Okay, yeah, that's a decision I've had to make too before. And that's, I know personally, for me, that was one of the hardest decisions I ever made in my life. And, well, I had to kind of split time. I had to split between the two. But I had to keep all my stuff in one spot, which was kind of where I lived more. I ended up picking my dad's house for that. Even though, in a lot of ways, when I was growing up, I was closer to my mom. I lived, my dad's house was closer to my friends, and that's where I wanted to be here. But why do we think about the decisions now we make, how they'll affect us in the future? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you do think like that. Brian, raise your hand if you do. You do think like that. Darius, explain why you do think like that.
Because one goal lead to another goal.
Okay.
And if you train, say you train for track or football, so you can get better, good enough to get at college.
One road leads to another, I heard you say, right? That's exactly, a decision we make now lead to decisions we make in the future. Andy, last comment, then we're going to get started with our text.
One time when I broke something, I was in demon.
Did you think about that decision, how it would affect you in the future?
No,
Why not?
because I was too scared, so I just ran to my room.
Okay. Everyone flip open to the text on the inside. This is a New York Times article. It's called Turning Around a Life Adrift. It's about a football player who basically makes a life decision. Devin, go back to your please. Thank you. About a life decision that he makes that he didn't think how it would affect him in the future. And it ended up really affecting him in the future. And he didn't think about how his decisions would change him. Okay? So, everybody look at your chart on this side. Don't go on the side with the picture, flip to the other side. Flip to the other side with the chart on it. Eccles has his paper flipped to the right spot. Fine. Nick's is flipped to the right spot. By the end of this text, the question we want to answer is this. Go to the bottom, it's the question in bold. It says, how did the decisions Jarbo made affect his future? What lessons can you apply from Jarbo's life to your own? Back up your answers with text evidence. While we're reading, guys, we're going to underline in the text any decisions we see Jarbo makes. Then in the right-hand column, we're going to say how that decision affected Jarbo's future. So raise your hand if you can explain the directions. What are we doing while we're reading? Raise your hand if you can explain. Just Gregory? And Darius know what to do. Okay, all right, that's better. Hill, explain what we're doing.
While reading, we underline some of the decisions that Jarbo made.
Excellent.
And how it affected him, and that's what we gonna get.
Good. So, everyone go to the text. Now that we know what we're going to do, what's going to be expected of us, let's go to the text. So you should be on this side of the text. We're going to do a choral reading. Go ahead. Go then. Anytime I stop, you guys are going to fill in the word together as a class, so I know we're all together, right? This is a really interesting story, but this is a story from a newspaper. Newspapers got pretty high lexile, so that means that if we can read this, We have definitely come a long way in our reading this year.
Oh, really?
This is long.
I know, that's how newspaper articles
Oh,
are.
this is.
Oh, one
We do
person.
this, I can do this, we do this. How do we do this?
No, the whole thing.
So guys, you know calling out's not accepted, right? I'll explain it to you. As we're reading, we're gonna stop and then we're gonna do the notes. So it says, deep in the delta, across a 4-lane road from a field of sheep, Josh Jarboe stood on a wooden stadium floor in mid-March, naked from the waist up. Virtually every inch of his torso, back and arms, was inked. An angel, a scorpion, the grim reaper, the names of his mother, grandmother, little sister, the motto, live now, cry
Later.
His dreadlocks were pulled back and faded orange at the ends. When he smiled, as he did often, his mouth gleamed with gold. It was pro day at Arkansas State, one of dozens of last book auditions around the country
Ronnie,
before
read
this
to the
month's
front office,
NFL
please.
draft. At least 16 scouts huddled around Jarboe with stopwatches and clipboards, examining him with the inscrutable gaze of county fair judges eyeballing a prize. Hold up. Raise your hand if you can tell me what type of figurative language I just read. Jesse knows, who else knows? Nix? Darius? Jesse, what type of figurative language is that?
Oh, well, this is not really what you said. I was about to ask you what's going
What word?
on. I was about to ask you what's going on.
Gleam? Gleam is like a shine. Who can tell me what type of figurative language that is? Darius? No, it's one of the ones you just said. Darius, what is it? Does it use the word like or has to make it
It's a
conventional?
metaphor.
It's a metaphor, guys.
I said,
So it's saying that they're looking. Brown, that's your first. We're silent right now.
he said.
It's saying they're looking at the calf, looking at this guy like he's a calf at some kind of cow selling event, right? So how are they probably looking at him? What picture comes to your mind? What image do you have in your head? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you know. Joseph?
Money.
So like he's money. What else?
A youngster?
You need to get at the office. No, not right now. You do that. Before we go outside. What else?
Like a little kid.
Like this little kid that was not first? Exactly. So let's keep reading. We're on the second paragraph. It says, Yet the men there to time, test, and measure Jarboe, a 6'2", 250-pound receiver, seemed less interested in how fast he ran the 40 than in answering the same question people have asked the last 5 years. Was Josh Jarboe a thug, or did he just play one on YouTube? The fallout from a freestyle rap video that Jarboe performed before his freshman season in Oklahoma about assault rifles, sex, and shooting somebody has tailed him through 4 colleges in 5 years. Since leaving his sketchy neighborhood on the eastern edge of Atlanta, a hip-hop incubator where he played in strip clubs during high school and regularly ran into rap stars like Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka, Jarboe has landed in a series of decidedly un-urban outposts. Norman, Oklahoma, Troy, Alabama, Boonsville, Mississippi, and now Jonesboro. It was one of the strangest, most circuitous routes of any player preparing for the
Yeah.
It is a path crossed by rapping guns, then rapping about guns, recorded in a dormitory lobby on an Oklahoma teammate's cell phone and posted on
YouTube.
The video ignited an early national debate on privacy in social media. It also nearly extinguished Jarboe's.
Correct.
Thank you, Eccles and Hill, but we can do better as a class, guys.
I said two cups.
Thank you, buddy. It was followed by an expulsion in Alabama, a rock-bottom stint at a junior college in Mississippi, and then resurrection in Arkansas by the coach at the center of the booking movie The Blind Side. Justified or not, Jarboe became the thug-like face of every talented college player who was ever kicked out of college and never heard from again. Except that he never quite went away. Many scouts and draft handicappers now predict that Jarbo, a big physical wide receiver with uncommon quickness for his size, will be a late round draft pick, or at least will be invited to the NFL training camp. For the son of a single mother and a father who was a pimp, the initial payoff could be as much as
$500,000.
Yep.
Oh,
I told him there's a lot of money out here. Make sure you pick it up, said his agent Chris Martin, a former NFL player based in Chicago, who flew in for the
Workout.
But alert to the new Puritanism of sorts ushered in by Commissioner Robert Goodell, scouts here wanted to be sure Jarbo was worth the risk. They grilled him for hours in private interviews. Most had talked with his many college coaches. Hugh Freeze, the blindside coach, who had Jarbo for a season at Arkansas State before moving to Mississippi, said about 10 NFL teams had. He told them what he tells everybody. Josh is truly one of my favorites. He's proven the last 2 years a change occurred. Jarbo's senior day escort was Freeze's 14-year-old daughter. Last December, he has also earned a degree in psychology. Character is a big thing with NFL scouts and teams, said John Carr, a national scout for the Houston Texans. You want to see if he's matured and can handle being a pro. I think he's a young man who knows he's made a lot of mistakes. A lot of guys in the league have done that. But if he repeated those mistakes before, we'll repeat them again. Carr added, then there's the video in Oklahoma. I haven't watched that yet. Let's stop and go to our notes. Brian, that's going to be your first. Please no call out, even if it's related to your first. Please don't call out, even if it's related to the work. Let's take down notes here, guys. Raise your hand. Who can tell me a decision that he made and how that affected his future? A decision Jarbo made. Raise your hand if you can tell me. Next.
Coach Stigler, please report to the front office. Coach Stigler, please report to the front office.
His past years and his future years.
Okay, so I'm writing, everyone should be writing. You're exactly right, Nick. He made a video about inappropriate things. In college. Kind of spilling over here. Deal with it, guys. How did that affect his future? What did that do?
Run Street,
Huh?
like it said in the story that he wouldn't be able to he'd get drafted, but it'd be like a late moment.
So it kind of, yeah, well, you're right. So, face forward, Joseph. What happened to him like right away? That was like the end result. He might not have even been drafted. Because what happened when this video hit? Echoes?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna come back to you. Just raise your hand silently, buddy. Right?
He got kicked out of college.
Got kicked out of college.
And most people thought he was a thug before football.
Excellent. I like how you not only, you told me what happened like right on the surface, and you told me like people's perceptions. So he got kicked out of college, people thought he was a thug. What's the cause and what was the effect? Was the cause they thought he was a thug and the effect he got kicked out of college, or the other way around? So the effect,
said first.
yeah, the cause was people thought he was a thug. Someone write that first. People thought he was a thug, and because of that, he was kicked out of college. Okay, raise your hand. Do you think this is fair or unfair? I want to hear some opinions through raised hands. Here's some opinions. Hill, what do you think?
I think it's unfair.
Why?
Because they don't want nobody to do them like that.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Because, like, if they, like, it don't matter, it's like some people got two sides of them and stuff. Like, if you want to be a thug and he's still doing his regular stuff, he can do that.
Okay, who wants to respond to Hill in a polite way? Either agree with him or disagree politely. Next.
I agree with that because one of it was in the past. That was just one mistake.
Okay.
And they made that one mistake to one big thing.
Okay. Eddie, and then Rick.